today I'm going to show you how to make this cute Halloween ghost coaster. If you want the written instructions, this free crochet pattern is available on my website, tiffanybliss.com. To get started, you're going to need gold yarn for these little stars, blue yarn for the center of the coaster, black yarn for the details around the edge, and white crochet thread number 10 for the ghost. You'll also need a G6 or 4.25 millimeter hook, and for the crochet thread I used a size D hook. This is a really old one, so I'm not really sure on the measurements. So without further ado, let's get started. To start, we're going to make a loop and chain 17. Then we're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. We're going to single crochet in the next chain, half double crochet in the next, and double crochet in the next 3 chains. That completes the beginning of the head. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 chains. Now we're going to start the body. Double crochet in the next 4 chains. Half double crochet in the next chain. Single crochet in the next chain, and slip stitch into the last. Now we're going to work our way back up the body. Now we're going to slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, single crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and double crochet in the next 3 stitches. We're going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. And that brings us back to the head. We're going to double crochet in the next 3 stitches, half double crochet in the next chain, and single crochet in the next chain, and then we're going to slip stitch into the last 2 stitches. And then we will also slip stitch into the top. Now we're going to make the little head swoopy thing at the top of the ghost. So we're going to chain 3. We're going to slip stitch into the second stitch from the hook, single crochet in the next stitch, okay, now we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch. Then we're going to single crochet in the next chain, half double crochet in the next chain, and double crochet into the next 4 stitches. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. Double crochet in the next stitch, and now we're going to make the arm. So to make the arm, we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch into the second chain from the hook, single crochet in the next chain, half double crochet in the next chain, and then half double crochet into the top of this double crochet that we made in the beginning. Now we're going to be working in the body again, and we're going to make a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next 4 stitches. And the 4th one will be this one at the end. Now we're going to make the tail, so we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch into the second chain from the hook, slip stitch into the next 2 stitches, and then slip stitch into this section right here, and then in that same section right here, you're going to make a single crochet. Now we're going to be working back up the body, slip stitch into the next 3 stitches, single crochet in the next 2, and we're going to make a single crochet in the next stitch, which is going to be the start of our arm. So we're going to chain 4, and we're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook, and then slip stitch into the next 2, we're going to single crochet into the next stitch, slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. Now we are back at the head, and we're going to double crochet in the next 4 chains, half double crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, slip stitch into the next stitch and the next stitch. Then up the swoop. That way you can fasten off at the top of the swoop. And that is it for our ghost. So you'll notice that the arms look different, and that's because I wanted to give it kind of like a ghosty feel where the arms aren't the same size, they don't look the same, just to give it a little bit of interest. We're going to start by making a magic circle. If you need to learn how to make a magic circle, there is a video on my channel that will walk you through the steps. Now we're going to make 8 half double crochets into the magic circle. And you can close up your magic loop. I'm just going to use a little piece of yarn for a stitch marker. Now we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch. To close the loop, and we're going to chain 2. This will count as your first half double crochet. Now you're going to increase in every stitch around. So you're going to put 2 half double crochets in every stitch. When you reach the end, slip stitch into the first stitch to close the loop. Now we're going to go around, and this time we're going to make 1 half double crochet in the first chain and then 2 half double crochets in the next. And we're going to repeat that around. And then we'll move our stitch marker and we'll slip stitch into the first chain 2 to close our loop. And then we'll chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to make 1 half double crochet in the first 2 stitches and an increase in the third. And then we'll slip stitch into the first stitch. And chain 2. This time we're going to increase in every 4th stitch, and this will be our final round with the blue. Now we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch, but before we close that loop, we're going to add in some black because that's going to be our border. So now we're going to tie off the black and the blue together. Then we're going to chain 2. Now we're going to make an increase round in every 5th stitch. And once you're done, slip stitch to the first stitch. Okay, now we're going to skip the first stitch and we're going to skip this. Okay, so now we're going to skip the first stitch and we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, skip the next stitch, and make 5 double crochets in the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, skip the next stitch, and then 5 double crochets again. And we're going to repeat that around. When you get to the end, you're going to make 4 double crochets in the last stitch, and you're going to slip stitch into this chain space right here, and fasten off. So now we're going to take our little ghost friend we made, and we're going to position him, and we're going to use this yarn and a yarn needle and we're just going to sew our little ghost buddy in place. And what's really cool is you can position him the way you want. So you can move the little swoop at the top or the little tail in any direction you want. You can move his arms around a little bit into different positions as you're sewing him on. Using black yarn, I'm going to make the eyes. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can find the written instructions for this free crochet pattern on my website, tiffanybliss.com.